The Growth Mindset Blueprint: How Ordinary People Build Extraordinary Success. Introduction: Why growth mindset is the real competitive advantage. Success in the modern world is no longer defined by intelligence, talent, or luck alone. Instead, it is shaped by how individuals think, adapt, and respond to challenges. The Growth Mindset Blueprint explores a powerful truth: the difference between those who consistently grow and those who remain stuck is not ability, but mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that skills, intelligence, and success can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. This book is a deep exploration of how mindset influences business success, career growth, leadership, wealth creation, and personal fulfillment. The book argues that most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they operate with limiting beliefs. They avoid risks, fear failure, and give up too early. In contrast, individuals with a growth mindset treat failure as feedback, challenges as opportunities, and learning as a lifelong habit. The summary breaks down the book chapter by chapter, highlighting practical lessons, real-life examples, and actionable strategies that help readers build a mindset designed for long-term success. Chapter 1: Fixed Mindset versus Growth Mindset. The book begins by explaining the two dominant ways people view their abilities: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that intelligence and talent are fixed traits. They think you are either good at something or you are not. As a result, they avoid challenges, fear criticism, and feel threatened by the success of others. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset believe that abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. They embrace challenges, persist through obstacles, and see effort as a path to mastery. The author explains that mindset shapes behavior. When someone believes they cannot improve, they stop trying. But when they believe improvement is possible, they put in effort even when results are slow. The chapter emphasizes that mindset is not something you are born with. It is learned, reinforced, and changeable at any stage of life. Chapter 2: The Psychology of Self-Belief. This chapter dives into how self-belief is formed and why it matters more than raw talent. The author explains that beliefs are built through experiences, environment, and internal dialogue. Childhood feedback, education systems, and social comparison often create limiting beliefs such as "I'm not smart enough" or "I'm bad at business." These beliefs silently control decisions. People avoid starting businesses, applying for promotions, or learning new skills simply because they believe they will fail. The book introduces the concept of belief upgrading. Just like software, beliefs can be updated by questioning old assumptions and replacing them with empowering thoughts. The chapter concludes with a powerful idea: you do not need confidence to start. You gain confidence by starting and improving. Chapter 3: Failure is not the enemy. Failure is one of the most misunderstood concepts in success. This chapter reframes failure as a necessary component of growth. The author shares examples of entrepreneurs, inventors, and leaders who failed repeatedly before achieving success. What separated them from others was not luck, but their response to failure. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" growth-minded individuals ask, "What can I learn from this?" The book explains that failure provides data. Every mistake highlights weaknesses, gaps, and opportunities for improvement. This chapter encourages readers to stop taking failure personally. Failure is an event, not an identity. Chapter 4: Effort Creates Talent. Contrary to popular belief, talent is often the result of sustained effort, not the starting point. The author explains how skills are built through deliberate practice. Effort strengthens neural connections in the brain, making learning faster and more effective over time. People with a fixed mindset see effort as proof of weakness. Growth-minded individuals see effort as proof of progress. This chapter emphasizes consistency over intensity. Small, daily actions repeated over time produce massive results. Chapter 5: Learning as a Lifelong Strategy. In a fast-changing world, learning is no longer optional. This chapter highlights the importance of continuous learning for long-term success. The book explains that industries evolve, technologies change, and skills become outdated. Those who stop learning fall behind, regardless of past success. Growth-minded individuals treat learning as a lifestyle. They read books, take courses, seek mentors, and actively reflect on their experiences. The chapter introduces the concept of learning agility, the ability to quickly acquire new skills and adapt to change. Chapter 6, Growth Mindset in Business. This chapter applies growth mindset principles to entrepreneurship and business. Successful business owners are not those with perfect ideas, but those willing to test, adapt, and improve. They experiment, collect feedback, and pivot when necessary. The author explains that businesses fail when founders become emotionally attached to ideas instead of focusing on solutions. Growth-minded businesses build cultures where innovation is encouraged, mistakes are analyzed, and learning is rewarded. Chapter 7, Leadership and Growth Culture. Great leaders do not create followers, they create more leaders. This chapter explains how leaders with a growth mindset empower their teams. Instead of controlling, they coach. Instead of blaming, they guide. The book highlights that organizations with growth cultures outperform those driven by fear. Employees take initiative, share ideas, and collaborate more effectively. Leaders are encouraged to reward effort, improvement, and learning, not just results. Chapter 8, Overcoming Fear and Self-Doubt. Fear is the biggest obstacle to growth. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of uncertainty stop people from taking action. This chapter explains that fear does not disappear with success. Even highly successful individuals experience doubt. The difference is how they respond. Growth-minded individuals act despite fear. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, but action in its presence. The book provides practical techniques to manage fear, such as reframing thoughts, focusing on process, and taking small steps forward. Chapter 9, Discipline Beats Motivation. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is reliable. This chapter explains why waiting for motivation leads to inconsistency. Growth-minded individuals build systems, routines, and habits that keep them moving forward even when motivation is low. The author emphasizes the power of identity-based habits. When people see themselves as learners, builders, and problem solvers, consistent action becomes natural. Chapter 10, Feedback is a Gift. Many people avoid feedback because it feels uncomfortable. This chapter challenges that mindset. Feedback, whether positive or negative, provides valuable insight into performance and improvement areas. Growth-minded individuals actively seek feedback because they understand it accelerates learning. The book encourages readers to separate feedback from self-worth. Feedback is about behavior, not identity. Chapter 11, Resilience and Long-Term Vision. Success is rarely quick. This chapter focuses on resilience, the ability to persist over the long term. The author explains that setbacks are inevitable, but quitting is optional. Growth-minded individuals focus on long-term vision instead of short-term discomfort. They understand that progress is often invisible in the beginning. This chapter encourages patience, persistence, and trust in the process. Chapter 12, Growth Mindset and Wealth Creation. Wealth is not just about money, it is about thinking. This chapter explains how financial success is linked to mindset. People with a growth mindset see money as a tool, not a limitation. They invest in skills, education, and opportunities instead of focusing only on saving. The book highlights that wealthy individuals focus on value creation, not just income. Chapter 13, Relationships and Personal Growth. Growth mindset also applies to relationships. This chapter explains how viewing relationships as evolving rather than fixed leads to stronger connections. Growth-minded individuals communicate openly, resolve conflicts constructively, and grow together. They understand that effort, empathy, and learning improve relationships over time. Chapter 14. Turning Challenges into Opportunities. Every challenge carries a lesson. This chapter teaches readers how to reframe problems as opportunities for growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" growth-minded individuals ask, "How can this help me grow?" This shift in perspective turns obstacles into stepping stones. Chapter 15. Designing Your Growth Blueprint. The final chapter focuses on implementation. The author encourages readers to design their own growth blueprint by setting learning goals, embracing challenges, and committing to continuous improvement. Growth is not a destination, it is a lifelong journey. The book ends with a powerful reminder: your potential is not fixed. It expands with every effort you make. Conclusion: Becoming Limitless. The Growth Mindset Blueprint delivers a clear message. Success is built, not inherited. When you change how you think, you change how you act. And when you change how you act, you change your results. By embracing learning, effort, resilience, and adaptability, anyone can unlock extraordinary growth, regardless of where they start.